Hey, all, we back. Ooh, echo. Finn,
It's just us, Finn.
chill. It's just Finn. It's reverb. Relax.
He's
Finn.
another person.
It was reverb.
Poor Finn. Finn, it's okay, baby.
There's no one here. It was just me in reverb. Wasn't a ghost me. Well, everybody, that's the first time my dog has ever heard reverb, and he did not like it. Not one bit. No, he did not.
He thought there was a ghost person. Didn't you? You thought there was a ghost. It's okay, baby. Hey. You're okay. You're okay.
Alright, we're into the crunch part 2 of day 13. Alright. Ben, chill. Alright, I gotta share this with the folks and the place and the thing. Alright, just letting everybody know we are back. And there we are. Alright. So, we've still been spray priming. We're waiting for this last 3D thing to finish printing so we can start building Lehman Russes, and we are continuing on with finishing up paint pieces here and there as it needs until we can really crank on. So I'm going to go ahead now and just get the snipers prepped. So I'm going to grab my Elysian green, which I'm using as a base layer, and start prepping these snipers. So I can do this layer pretty thick, or pretty broadly. So let me find a standard. It's a base coat. There's a standard brush. Alright, give me a good bit of Elysian green for all 3 of these at once. Get my paint water. Pull it up around here. There we go. And now that I have my nifty Citadel new model holder thing, normally I think these things...
Great, aren't they?
I mean, I've had one made by my buddy, you remember Chris Wells. He made me a set of... Yeah, he made me a wooden set of 8 of them that all sit in a little holder.
I've seen his, actually.
Yeah.
I've seen him do them online.
And I've got it over there, and normally if I was doing a squad at a time, I love using his, but now that I'm just so many, reloading the thing would almost take as much time. So I was at the store today, and I hadn't picked up a Citadel one yet.
I was actually surprised, because at first I was like, oh, it's just this chunky piece of plastic. And
yeah, and I mean, I have
wow,
the 3D printer, so I can print as many of them as I want, but there is something about the engineering of this one with the spring-loaded clips and just...
The spring loading really helps.
And I really love the magnets on the side, especially when we get to the Russes, because what this becomes more than just the model holder for me, this is how I keep the magnets secure on the desk now.
Oh, because you can see, because the metal's open on the outside.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's neat.
So I have a
Good
place
idea.
to leave my magnets without, and they can all... I don't forget which side is up as I pull them off the stack in that case.
Yeah.
There have been a couple of times where I have made a model, magnetized it, and realized I have the polarity reversed.
Oh, no.
And then I got to take it apart and put it back together the right way.
Oh,
and
that sucks.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's a pain.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
What's wrong, Finis? Maximus.
This whole bodysuit there, Elysian green. So let's get some light to a position where everybody can sort of see. Yeah, there we go. I'm normally more used to painting with a lot of light on it, but when I'm filming and painting it, I got to do things just a little bit differently.
Fair.
Alright, so that's all... Man, that's all the uniform green he's got. Okay. Versus the camo cloak. Go to the next guy. boots and
Tony
black
is
later.
sadly licking the fork on the ground.
Yeah, he will do that.
That is so cute. It's like it still tastes like bacon.
Yeah, he goes pretty nuts when we have bacon for dinner. Putting even more, all this Elysian green. Oh, let me turn this so people can actually see me working rather than just staring at all the models I've already done. Finishing up. Even though it's crunch time, I think I'm gonna make it. I really do. Tomorrow is not gonna be my favorite day on the planet, but
What time did you say you have to get up?
To get out there, I need to be on the road by like no later than 8. And
Tomorrow?
no, on Saturday.
On Saturday, okay.
Tomorrow, I'm just trying to get up as early as I can so I can get started as soon as I can.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Alright, there's the vest.
It's just me, Finn. It's just my boots. Calm down. Spazzy little dog.
Yeah, he is. But he's adorable.
But we love you with it.
Tight spaces. Can't tell if that's shirt or camo or that's gotta be camo weaving. No, I guess they mean for that to be vest. That's odd. Oh, it's fill-in cast. Old metal models. Unfortunate side effect of them. Little detail areas that just end up being blank.
Yeah.
Like famously, the between the chest and the bolter on the old Space Marines.
Oh, right.
Just where it flattened out, and all you could do was just paint it black and hide it in shadow and hope no one ever looked there. It was just the oddest looking part of a model. Alright, little bits here, little bits there. Alright, that's that guy. Elysian uniform green on. Last sniper. Yep, and these are the old Catchet and Sniper models. Fully aware, but they're going to be fighting Cadian, and since they're be sneaky, they wear this kind of uniform. I honestly think it's just sort of unfortunate all those doctrines and skills are locked based on the type of regiment. And fielding it, you should just be able to pick a doctrine, in my opinion. Let's get that almost fully greened up on this guy, and he'll be the last sniper uniform we do for the moment. That print is coming close, about half of the way there. Which means the Hellhounds will be on track to get built tomorrow. If we get the Russes built tonight, which we really don't have an option. Okay, came right off his base. Fix that.
That soldier, stand your ground.
Thankfully, he was already lying down. Alright, we'll just put him back together. Sit there to dry. Okay, what can we do next? Well, we have to wait. Stormtroopers, so gray.
How much more time is in your print?
It shouldn't be more than an hour, but sometimes it is. It's not really good at timing itself.
That's good.
Which gray do I want to use? I almost feel like Mechanicus Standard Gray is more what I want here. Okay, let's prep this up. First guy on block. Anything else getting spray prime? Yes, one Xandri Dust spray prime needs to be done.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Medium dry brush. Tammy, could you grab me a paper towel, please?
Yes, I can.
I'm gonna be doing some dry brushing. That means,
Important.
yeah.
Importante.
All right. So what I'm going through. Thank you very much, doll. Going through, I'm prepping my dry brush to get everything through, and I'm just gonna do a quick dry brush on all of these guys' exposed clothing pieces, and that's just to give them some texture. Bring out some of the details so I can actually see them. Then I'm gonna lay the camo in over top. It's a bionic arm, so it doesn't need to be dry brushed at all. Alright, let's move on to the next guy. All the legs down here. Back of this arm. Back of that arm. Back of those legs. Chest area there. And that will get these guys just some definition that I can use to go through when I add the camo and sort of see the line of the clothing, because it's all, these guys have a lot of junk on top of everything else they're wearing, so it's sometimes hard to see where everything is. This early dry brush helps me pick out those details and follow sort of the natural fold of the fabric rather than just sort of guessing. Because the camo was applied to these uniforms in their production when they were laying out flat, not with a person in them. So the camo patterns don't tend to fall across joint lines straightly and things like that. So that's what this helps me map. Alright, down and around.
Why are you looking so protective?
Yeah, we'll just keep adding this gray. And a bit more. Two guys left on the block. Painting stormtroopers. So I left these guys alone all week. The techniques for them are just a lot faster to apply despite the added amount of detail on the figure. I'm just using less paints and I don't need to do as much clean edge work as I do on the standard guard models. The features blend together a little bit more. And also on those guard, like I was saying before, they took as long as they did because of how I assembled them. If I had done the guns and everything on sprue, I'd have been through that a heck of a lot faster. And that's just an important note that we'll be going over in the post-mortem from when I get back from the tournament. And we discuss how well I did. I'm going to try to record battle reports when I'm there, however they're timed around, so we'll see how that goes. I may have to, focus on playing rather than recording what I'm up to. But we'll definitely go over each match when I get back, talk about what we're going to do different next time, and then we will take a look and find out where our next tournament's going to be. Okay, they're grade. Camo time. So, to camo these guys, they're getting an urban camo pattern. I first need to find my gray that I'm using. Oh, actually, or do I want to do white first? Be right back. I'm checking an old model I did. Let's see which one of these are. Empty beer bottles. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is white. We'll need white diagrams. This is what they normally look like. It's white ice jagged spikes and then a whole lot of detail work on all the different pistols and everything else that they carry, because they are weighted down to bare. So in that sense, I guess I actually have one already done. He's just my spare, so we'll see if we need him or if we can use all the new ones. Alright, so let's start with our leader. And we'll need white, so I just bought new ceramite white at the store today because the one I had was getting a little difficult to use. So we're going to try our new one, see if it does us any better. Shake up that paint.
Shake, 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 shake that paint up.
Oh, you know what? I just joined the Oculus thing, so let me go drop that link over there. See if anybody wants to come talk. Let's see here. I'm gonna need a fine detail. Fine detail. Oh man, maybe ceramite white is just always like this. It's a pretty chunky paint.
The white always goes chunky really quickly.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that dries up really quickly, like the light grays did.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to go through so many of those.
Yeah, the grays ones.
Yeah,
The
I think
brown ones always went dry, but you could always bring back a brown.
Mm-hmm. The whites
always
you just
bring back a brown.
just not much you can do about it.
No, because I mean you have to have like completely clean water that you add to it, not your paint cup water.
Yeah.
Because it will turn the white to gray, basically.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, it can kill paint real quick. I think this one is just I'm gonna have to sit here and shake until my arm hurts. And
The reds are another one I've always been able to bring back mostly, not as easily as the browns, but
yeah, I think it's to each one in each generation. I mean, I remember when it was just skull white,
yeah,
and now
there's white. Oh man.
now there's ceramite white and rape
I know
white.
all the new
and
colors. I don't know all the new colors yet.
yeah, I don't even know me. I have a Citadel Mega set here that I work from and just replaced to, but this thing is several years old at this point, and there's so many technicals I'm missing.
When I bought my Mega set, I was, oh my god.
Yeah, it's fun when you first get it. It's less fun like
when they all start drying up. Because
yeah,
they're the crappy tops that
and
don't screw.
And you just couldn't possibly have used them all in that time.
No.
And
the old tops you could never. I mean, either the screw ones or the pop down tops. Neither of them would ever seal enough to not let your paints dry out.
Yeah, you had to be real careful.
The way that like a Vallejo paint is so hard to let it dry out.
Yeah, I wish they were in droppers. I don't know why they don't, but
no, it's so good.
I can always move them to a dropper myself if I felt like it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So I got no one to blame but my own lack of motivation to do so.
Fair.
And I appreciate that I can buy the paints in these sizes, because if I was constantly buying like AC more
like the
the acrylic paint there, I'd just be wasting paint left and right. It'd be terrible.
Because they come in the big squeeze bottles, the way that like canvas painters use.
Yep. And I mean, I make tons of terrain out of old Citadel pots.
Sure.
When they die down, like I use.
And it's okay if they end up muddy, kind of.
I just sit around there. They on some of my battle boards, they're painted up as like a sort of sci-fi dumpster. Mm-hmm. In other ones, I run them up like power generators. I mean, there's always a good use for a Citadel pot.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. Alright, so just shake this until it's dead. Alright, that looks okay. That could work. A little chunky, but I'll water it down here on the palette. So yeah, we can make this work. Alright, let's switch into paint view mode. Clean off this brush. Add our white on the palette here. Fine detail brush. Where'd I put you? Okay, you are. Let's start stenciling some camo. Alright, so we're just going to make some jagged geometric shapes all throughout the armor here. And then we will come back through and fill them with a gray. And that will create the pattern that this camo is made up of. And it actually comes out looking pretty striking. I'm a fan of it. I've used it a couple of times in different armies. And it's just a technique I like coming back to. Okay, you don't even need to fill in the shapes, because you're going to fill all that in with gray. Look down the line. This brush has not got the best tip. I got a Psycho around here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's an insane detail. Let's go even further. There's a Psycho.
He's gone plaid.
Insane. Insane. I might have misplaced a brush.
You had just the other day.
Yeah, I've got. Well, I got a couple of psychos actually. It just
Yeah.
seems I have misplaced one. All right, that fine detail, that insane detail might just work though.
Did you eat it, Finn?
I don't think Finn ate it. I don't think he would do that to me.
He's like, oh, you little pig.
Alright, get that shape down. Right. Now, the only thing here is to remember not to go overboard, because it's supposed to be black decorated with these camo swatches, not mostly camo swatch. So you want to keep it consistent but sparse. And make sure you don't do weird things like make someone's whole butt a camo pattern, because that's just not what they would do. Another fun one is to do half of a pattern you would normally want to do right up against an obscuring detail. That adds a lot of worn-in, realistic feel to things. Okay. Like, I'm a big fan of drawing the camo pattern down into the boot and leaving it cut off and obscured by the boot. Alright. Swing this around, do this knee. Yeah, that's some good shapes around there. Making good use of the whole canvas. And I guess the back is, and the arms here. So we got arm. And let's do the shoulder here. Alright. Sorry to pull that back so I could actually see what I was doing there. That odd shape. So we armored those. Okay. But we camoed the helmet except for the very back piece. Okay, let's keep going. No more time to waste.
Do you already know who you're going to be playing?
Nope. I know what factions are in the tournament, but I don't know which ones I'll be facing. I have a good chance of running up against Death Guard with all those Nurgle Space Marines, which that should be a lot of fun. Oh, this guy, any army that gets back up after being killed is always a challenge. Yeah, Necrons, there's another bunch of those. There's some Space Wolf players, which...
Right, yeah, if you told them correctly.
Yeah. Saw a couple, I think there were 2 other Imperial Guard players, so maybe I'll run guard on guard. Those are always fun, just slug it out kind of games.
Yeah.
And other than that, no, I'm waiting to see. It'll be a surprise on the day of.
Are there any like special rules for the tournament or anything?
A couple of the scenarios have them. The first scenario is pretty basic. The second 2 scenarios are a little wild. I don't know what I'm going to do there. One has a webway gate in the middle. They can make guys deploy randomly. That should be a challenge.
Yeah.
Could use it to my advantage. We'll have to see. There's another one where all the objectives come in randomly throughout the game. Like they're falling from the sky. That could be kind of fun. And then, other than that, not really sure how it's going to go. I have to play a lot of it by ear, and I haven't been in a tournament in a long time, so...
Yeah, you're saying.
It'll be more of an educational experience. I'm not going in with the mindset that I'm going to have any devastatingly effective strategies right off the bat.
Surprise.
Yeah, I got some thoughts on how to take down like certain things I expect to see, but... You know what Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit. Camo, camo, camo. Keep the camo coming. Alright, laying it down. We just keep going and going and going.
Do you know any of the people that are going to be at the tournament?
Nope, don't know one of them yet.
No.
Talked to a few of them on Facebook over the past couple of weeks, but this is way outside my normal stomping
Like
grounds.
trash talking or like talking?
No, just saying hey. Everybody's been showing off different progress.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it'll be meeting all new people, playing at a store I've never been to, out in a town I think I've driven through like twice in my life.
That sounds terrifying to me.
Well, it's Damascus. I mean, it's not a small town,
yeah.
but...
No, by that I just mean like being new at the gaming store kind of feel.
Admittedly, I have the advantage of being a large male, so I have the privilege of not suffering through what most other people suffer through.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I would not expect anyone else to feel as comfortable entering new environments as I do.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but I know what the world is.
Right.
Alright, that's you. Next. And just end over end, just constantly dropping.
Who are you trying to convince?
Yeah, mostly myself.
Just keep painting.
Yeah, that's really all there is to it. Just like back in the day, it was like, I can
Yeah,
stop.
just-
No, you can't.
You can never stop.
You gotta get that in the display window by Monday. Paint. They have to be done before the codex drops.
Really?
Yes, Commissar, yes.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, you really... Yeah. I talked to some of the new employees about what it was like back then, and they don't have to deal with any of that anymore, and it's just funny to laugh, and it's just like... It's like if you went through college with a fraternity that hazed, and you came...
And then once
then you come back and meet all the kids who didn't get hazed, and you sort of have this feeling, it's like, look, I'm glad they stopped hazing and all that, but without the hazing, I really can't consider you part of my frat.
Aw.
Like, you're in, I get it, we had to change, but we're not on the same level. You did not earn to the same degree that those people who had to go through the hell earned.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's my unpopular opinion, as I am pro safe hazing.
Non-violent hazing or something.
Violence is part of hazing, but safe. There's a big difference between someone getting hurt and someone getting injured. Keep them from getting injured? Cool. Learn about camaraderie through shared pain of experience? Very useful skill. Very useful tool. Problem is when they like trick people into doing it and pushing them too far, or turning up beyond what people expect once they're in the program. That ain't cool. That's like culty behavior.
Yeah,
Frats aren't about that cult life. Or they shouldn't be.
they shouldn't be.
If you're a frat and a cult at the same time, you got something really, really wrong.
Sorry to be the ones to inform you.
Yeah. Always make sure you make your cult or frat decision while sober. It's very
I mean,
important.
if you make the decision to do it sober, you've thought about it.
Yeah.
A cult can be a viable option for someone who's really put some thought into it.
Yeah, if you got a cult that leaves me alone, go have your cult. Problem is I find most cults don't want to leave me alone. They specifically either want ill for me,
Pissed about something.
or they think they're better than me, and those ones don't really bother me so much. When they think they're like so much better than everyone, they end up just like going off to the woods and killing themselves for aliens. I mean, it's sad and it's tragic, don't get me wrong, but I can't really say they bother me. In fact, they're going quite out of their way not to. Doomsday prepper cults, you know, they're worrisome, and yeah, I do worry about the children in them because they do seem to have a high prevalence and correlation between child abuse, especially sexual abuse in these groups. But if you're not doing that, leave the apocalypse groups alone, ATF. Stop going and knocking on their door and proving their point. If it's just crazy people collecting guns wanting to be left alone, leave them there. Do not go poking at landmines. Yes, it's dangerous. Over there. Don't go over there. They specifically buy property that's way over there to stay out of your way. You're just not holding up your end of the bargain.
So peaceful doomsday cult. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm down with those guys.
So basically the Amish.
Yeah, pretty much. And look, they get left alone for the most part.
Yeah. And they even allow for Rumspringa.
Oh yeah, they've had Rumspringa for a while.
Yeah, no, I know. I think it's a neat practice.
We see the folks from Rumspringa around here every now and then, and not so much. They're mostly lost, and they go one of two ways. Running home, or they end up dying of drugs.
Oof.
There's not a whole lot of rapid adaptation that they go through.
Yeah.
Or at least not the ones that come down here. I'm sure there's people
the
that...
ones up in New York, I don't think go quite as crazy. The ones up in Erie and Watts Flats area, which is where I spend a lot of my summers, we get a lot of those kids, and they don't seem to be going crazy too bad. But it's Buffalo, so there's not a whole lot to Jamestown, Buffalo area to go crazy with.
But yeah, down here they just have a hard time making their way, and they end up in the worst parts of it. We don't get that many though compared to up there, so that might be a part of it. We might be getting the dregs of Rumspringa. Camo shapes. Yep, just more and more to get done. Alright, I think we covered enough of the... let me get an area there. Oh, helmets, right. Yeah, there we go. Forgot this guy's helmet, though. So backtrack a bit here. Okay. Yeah, let's put one down on this leg just to be consistent. And on that leg. That leg right there. Alright.
Done.
3 more to go.
You can do it.
Thank you. Just gotta believe in myself. And anything can be accomplished. Follow your dreams, kids. And you can one day, too, be a frustrated painter working on a project that he self-imposed on himself with an unrealistic deadline. The good news is I'm freaking out about it getting done tonight. Which means I'm in good shape for tomorrow night when I'm supposed to actually be freaking out about it. So if I'm already working at this level of efficiency now, I should be able to cold cock it.
That's good.
Alright, but it is coming... Oh, it is midnight. Yeah, it is time to shut down for the evening.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wind it down. I'm going to still be working all night, guys. I'm going to build the Russes later tonight. Don't worry, I will film that for a separate video so I can show everybody how to magnetize a Russ. Not everybody knows. Some tutorials I've seen out there are insanely complicated on how to do it. It's really not. You grab yourself right size magnets, some green stuff, and you just go for it. You don't need to do... There's a little bit of drilling involved, but not much. You can do most of it just by adhering green stuff and mounting your magnet right into it. And you'll get a nice clean fit, and it does the job. Some people don't like working with green stuff. That's fine. You can do it with super glue. It's just very easy to use green stuff, since if you don't have a mounting point there, the green stuff will make it for you in the more convenient spot, since the model kits were not designed to be magnetized. Specifically, sometimes I feel like they were designed as best they could be to avoid allowing magnetization. But we're crafty people. We overcome.
We're sneaky, GW.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't think we could do it.
What I always find funny is it's GW who taught us to do it.
I know, right?
It's like, we can't only give you so many display model kits. Make them go as far as you can. Remember, for a while...
Magnets are so fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're always fun.
I think my favorite one was the era where we were making all the magnetized game boards, where the pieces would just... All the decals and stuff were meant to come off, so we could switch it to fantasy real quick, like the bridge.
Like flip over the... Yeah.
Yeah. The bridge was my favorite, because you just took the posts off of either side, and it was a Sigmar bridge, a vampire...
The posts were just made of those... Oh, there was some of them that were made from the little plastic caps that go on the end of, like, headsets.
And then,
cheapy headsets.
Yeah, I made a whole bunch of them out of banners for the different factions. And then I remember Scott was trying to make, like, skull poles for vampires. And then I forget who it was who actually, like, went out and, like, laser cut an Aquila out of wood.
Oh, damn.
To go. I think that was Alan. Yeah, I think that was Alan from Annapolis.
Oh, I don't know.
And then Tom grew hollow, and he'd just make whatever he felt like out of green stuff.
Yeah, he was cool.
He didn't really
I
ever
was always amazed at some of the green stuff that those guys could make up.
Uh-huh. He never bothered asking for permission ever. He was just like, we're going to do this. And everybody was like, well, Tom said so. He gets away with everything. Let's do it.
Did I tell you about when I put together my first big, like, 40K thing for the display case, and I had just gotten it glued together. I want to say I actually did get it primed and painted, if I remember correctly, because it ended up in the display case, and we wouldn't have...
I only ever got to see your Bretonians, because it was after that I went on the road.
Well, no, so what happened was I didn't have, like, directions on how to put it together, but it was a Space Marines...
was it the Land Raider?
Not the Dreadnought, but the one that had all of the little... It has all the seals over it, and it was a metal kit, and it wasn't the Dreadnought, but it looked a lot like the Dreadnought.
Was that...
And it had, like...
I don't remember...
It had, like, the feet that kind of made it look like a ATST kind of thing.
You mean a Sentinel?
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
The Guard Sentinel?
Yeah, that was what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
it was like a big metal bit. It was a big metal thing. Well, I had put it together by accident. I had the plates where the arm joints fit into. I had them backwards and flipped upside down. But I made it glue together proper. I made it go together because it seemed to go together that way, and I wasn't given directions on how to put it together.
Yeah, they actually include directions with Citadel kits, which when I bought my first kit after the hiatus and came back, I was like, I don't know what to do with these.
Yeah, But so what I didn't know until after it was like all done and in the display case, and one of the managers from like Britain came and was like, the arms on that are backwards, or not the arms, but the plate part.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my god, it's been sitting there for weeks and months now, and nobody said anything.
Yeah, but you always just go, it's a conversion.
Yeah.
We're big on conversions around here. Conversions make more sense. And as soon as you said conversions make more sense, they just walk away. I remember. Oh, the blue shirts. What you didn't want to run into was the black shirts. Oh, the black shirts. Secret shopping. Back in the day, I don't know, I guess you guys never got hit with them. They would occasionally...
Well, the managers had black shirts.
Yeah, well, now. Originally, it was everybody was in red if you were retail. Blue if you were mail. Yeah, and then blue was mail order.
Yeah, I remember blue.
And then yellow was support and customer service and things like that. And then there were these guys. What the guys in black shirts were the trainers. So they would come. They would find out when you were like working a shift by yourself. They would come in, do a whole needy shoppers thing, and then go out, and then they would come back like 30 minutes later suddenly wearing their black Games Workshop shirt. And we were like, hey, man, let's talk about what just went down there. And you're like, oh
no.
Fuck! It's like, you caught me at like Sunday at 7 in the morning painting models, and damn it, yes, you're right. I should have leapt up faster, but I was trying to get this.
Yeah.
Damn it, guys. Alright, if it's after midnight, Jen's going to want to come down and work in the living room. Let me walk you out, darling.
Can I take a little bit with me?
That stuff was pretty expensive stuff that I can
well,
get.
I've got some cash if you wanted some, but if you...
Yeah, this stuff's like 20 a gram. But as soon as Mikey gets back in town, I will take you up to see Mikey and Kira. Because they are our most regular connection. Let me find some, put this in for you.
I can just take it out. I've got stuff that I put it in the car.
I think I got cellophane right here, though, so it doesn't flake off all the dust on the wall.
How much do you need?
It's just like a 20. Thank you, darling.
Do you need more?
Mm-mm. It just came out that way. And I can do half price when I take it.
Oh. Are you guys planning on doing fair this weekend?
No. Tourney, and then...
Oh, that's right, because that's this weekend.
And then Sunday, probably looking for more work, doing everything I can that way. And, yeah, it's pretty much paint away.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Tammy. I will see you soon.
Yep. Have a good night.
I'll call you as soon as Mike gets in town.
Sure, yeah.
All right. Back to it, guys. Let's get this done. I will see everybody in the morning when we kick back up. Thank everybody for joining me tonight. It's been a blast. We're going to push through, and we'll see tank construction and priming tomorrow. The 3D printer's still going. It's going to get this last Hellhound tank done for me, and once it's done, I can clear that, build Russ's, and it's going to be a heck of a thing, and I will film the building Russ's when I get to them so that we can put that magnetization video up there later. But thanks so much for joining me on this project. It's really helped me stay awake. If anybody wants to leave comments on what can be done as future videos, what can be done with this setup differently, this one really was done just to keep pushing me through and keep me painting. I really would love to know what would be more entertaining to watch in the future when we're not under such a time constraint. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks a lot.